Why don't you talk to your once best friend anymore? I feel she doesn't want to talk to me. What would happen if I stop initiating conversations? Many months later, haven't heard a single word from her. I did this to my circle of friends. As it turned out, my friends weren't my friends at all, but some of the people I didn't consider close were the ones who did reach out to make plans. So I ghosted my friends I've had my entire life and found a better circle. Walked in on him moments after he was finished fucking my, now ex-girlfriend in my room. Karma was nice though. He blew out his knee and can no longer play his sport professionally. I deserve this one. I set a good girlfriend up with a close guy friend. Then he started cheating on her. He thought since I was his mate he could tell me and I wouldn't tell her. Except, she was my friend too. I ended up basing my decision on a personal experience where an ex had cheated and everyone knew except me how devastated and betrayed I had felt. So I told her the truth. She confronted him and his reply? Shit. Don't listen to her. She's just fucking jealous. Just played matchmaker to get closer to me, etc. She believed him. So did my circle of friends on her side and his side. I never quite got over that. She had a baby, and then one day we were having lunch and she told me, "You know, I only want to hang out with other moms from now on." I didn't quite get the hint, but she ignored all my texts and emails for a few months and I finally realized what she was trying to tell me back there. Sadly, this is the norm. Almost all of my married friends stopped inviting me places because I'm not married. My one friend even said, "I shit you not. Well, when you get married, you're back in the group." No, thank you. Let him move in because of issues at his home. Started missing money and found used syringes in my shoes. Long story short, I love the guy. I wish we saw each other more often, but he's the flakiest, most unreliable person I know. He treats everyone like they're barely worth his time. Make plans with the guy and it's a coin toss whether he'll even show up. I've known him for 10 years and it's only gotten worse, but I learned long ago that it's a waste of time to chase him. I had a friend like this too. Turns out, she was deeply depressed and when she didn't show up, it was because she couldn't get out of bed. One of my biggest regrets was not noticing the signs. Lost her as a friend when she got better because I didn't reach out enough, and I didn't blame her. We grew apart. I needed emotional support during a very tough time and she wasn't interested in helping, so I ended it. This happened to me when I was a senior in college. My best friend from high school fell off the face of the earth when I needed her most. I had a precancerous tumor and had to have surgery. I was terrified and she wasn't there for me. It didn't make any sense. Almost a year after we stopped speaking, a mutual friend informed me that her father had just lost his battle to cancer. I had no idea he had it. She wasn't there for me because she had to be there for her father, and I then understood that she probably couldn't emotionally handle both situations at the same time. It was then when I decided I would take a chance and attend the wake. I was so nervous when I got there because I hadn't seen her in over a year, but when I walked in and she saw me, she immediately burst into tears and gave me the biggest hug. To this day, that moment was one of the best I ever experienced. I got my friend back. A year and a half after that, I was the maid of honor at her wedding. I know not every situation turns out as well as mine, and I'm sure there are people who bail because they simply don't care, but in my case all it took was a bold effort by me and it worked out in the end. He slept with my girlfriend and sold his sister's virginity to a guy for $100. Sold? She was mentally unhealthy and immature on a diagnosable level, and he talked her into it, telling her it was normal and that it would make her less anxious around people, and of course she believed him because he was her older brother. I lost my friends when my son died. Instead of being supportive, they harassed me to come out drinking or go to the bar. Like I had just been through a breakup and needed to go out. No, literally 24 hours ago I buried my baby in the ground, ya fucks. What is even more fucked, I said. I know you guys mean well, but I don't want to leave the house right now. My child just died. I am losing my mind. You can come over or even watch TV with me. No one came, no one called. Literally, the 4 girls I knew my whole life bailed on me when I needed them the most. It hurt. People's true colors come out when you go through a tragedy and it sucks. To clear one thing up, I did ask specifically for them to come also. I had a bereavement counselor straight away. The hospital has her come to your house even. She's an amazing woman and taught me how to ask for what I needed. Unfortunately, people still react very poorly to such a devastating loss. I fired him. Not as my friend, I employed him to help him out, and ended up needing to let him go. He wants nothing to do with me now. Don't work with friends. It's crazy how entitled and resentful some people can get once money is involved. Though I think that sometimes the problem is that both people think they're doing the other person a favor, which combined with a lack of communication, is a great place to grow resentment. You can work with friends, but you've got to be extra mindful and communicative about it. She turned and walked away because I had the audacity to make plans with another friend and invite her, instead of making plans with her first, then inviting my other friend. She'd only really message me if she wanted something. If she was down, I'd try my best, but if I was upset, it was, oh, I'm really not in the right place right now, talk later, which is fair enough, but I always tried to help her. She'd also message me screenshots of the argument with her boyfriend. They're a shit couple, and my advice is always either dump him or talk it out, which is never what she wants to hear, but what am I supposed to do about it? I guess she just wants validation. She's right to be annoyed, but she can be really unreasonable sometimes. Oh, and then she asks for money under some bullshit pretense, and then buys weed. I know I shouldn't fall for it, and I've stopped now, but you know. My personal rule for when people come to me with relationship problems: never give advice, listen, ask questions, and make them feel heard and felt. I learned my lesson when I reminded my best high school friend that her ex cheated on her and was an a-hole when dumping her. Now they are married with 3 kids and we don't talk. She was maid of honor in my wedding. After, I would try to make plans with her for lunch or whatever, and she always canceled the day of. Never gave a reason, just, oh, I forgot, I can't, some other time. I realized I was the only one putting in any effort, so I just stopped trying to do things with her. I figured if she wanted to do something, she'd get a hold of me. From the other perspective, I am currently a maid of honor in a wedding, and I'm pretty sure after this I don't want to be friends with the bride anymore. She is so nasty and only cares about herself. And I understand weddings are tough, but you shouldn't treat people horribly because of them. He became a domestic abuser. Started hitting his girlfriends in high school. No thanks. Her boyfriend didn't like her hanging out with other guys, made her block me and all of her other male friends on social media. No idea if they're still together, but she hasn't contacted me at all since. So I left the Mormon church. I lost many friends the moment they found out I left. I even lost a Christian friend because, at least as a Mormon, I believed in the Bible. Now he doesn't know who I am or what I believe anymore. I have new friends now, but most of my Mormon friends treat me like I died. Do you have a similar story? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.